It's that Shithole, no, she my flow. Yeah. It's that
Not the language used. Donald Trump denies shithole country's remark but defends tough stance. In bluntly vulgar language, President Donald Trump questioned Thursday why the U.S. would accept more immigrants from Haiti and shithole countries in Africa rather than places like Norway, as he rejected a bipartisan immigration deal, according to people briefed on the extraordinary Oval Office conversation. Trump on Friday denied using that language. Trump's contemptuous description of an entire continent startled lawmakers in the meeting and immediately revived charges that the president is racist. The White House did not deny his remark but issued a statement saying Trump supports immigration policies that welcome those who can contribute to our society. Yet Trump himself tweeted Friday, "The language used by me at the DACA meeting was tough, but this was not the language used." He went on to criticize the immigration deal, saying, "What was really tough was the outlandish proposal made a big setback for DACA." The White House did not immediately respond to questions about the president's tweet. Trump's comments Thursday came as two senators presented details of a bipartisan compromise that would extend protections against deportation for hundreds of thousands of young immigrants and also strengthen border protections, as Trump has insisted. The lawmakers had hoped Trump would back their accord, in agreement among 6 senators evenly split among Republicans and Democrats, ending a months-long, bitter dispute over protecting the Dreamers. But the White House later rejected it, plunging the issue back into uncertainty just 8 days before a deadline that threatens a government shutdown. Dick Durbin of Illinois, the Senate's no. 2 Democrat, explained that as part of that deal, a lottery for visas that has benefited people from Africa and other nations would be ended, the sources said, though there could be another way for them to apply. Durbin said people who would be allowed to stay in the U.S. included those who had fled here after disasters hit their homes in places such as El Salvador, Guatemala and Haiti. Trump specifically questioned why the U.S. would want to admit more people from Haiti. As for Africa, he asked why more people from shithole countries should be allowed into the U.S., the sources said. The president suggested that instead, the U.S. should allow more entrants from countries like Norway. Trump met this week with Norwegian Prime Minister Erna Solberg. Asked about the remarks, White House spokesman Rod Shah did not deny them. Certain Washington politicians choose to fight for foreign countries, but President Trump will always fight for the American people, he said. Trump's remarks were remarkable even by the standards of a president who has been accused of racism by his foes and who has routinely smashed through public decorum that his modern predecessors have generally embraced. Trump has inaccurately claimed that Barack Obama, the nation's first black president, wasn't born in the United States. He has said Mexican immigrants were bringing crime and were rapists. He said there were very fine people on both sides after violence at a white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, left one counter-protester dead. House Democratic Whip Steny Hoyer of Maryland said, "President Trump's comments are racist and a disgrace." But it wasn't just Democrats objecting. Republican Rep. Mia Love of Utah, the daughter of Haitian immigrants, said Trump's comments were unkind, divisive, elitist and fly in the face of our nation's values. She said, "This behavior is unacceptable from the leader of our nation," and called on Trump to apologize to the American people and the nations he so wantonly maligned. Trump has called himself the least racist person that you've ever met. The sources spoke on condition of anonymity because they weren't authorized to publicly describe the conversation. One said lawmakers in the room were taken aback by Trump's remarks. The Trump administration announced late last year that it would end a temporary residency permit program that allowed nearly 60,000 citizens from Haiti to live and work in the United States following a devastating 2010 earthquake. Trump has spoken positively about Haitians in public. During a 2016 campaign event in Miami, he said the Haitian people deserve better and told the audience of Haitian Americans he wanted to be your greatest champion, and I will be your champion. The agreement that Durbin and Sen. Lindsey Graham, RS.C., described to Trump also includes his $1.6 billion request for a first installment on his long-sought border wall, aides familiar with the agreement said. They required anonymity because the agreement is not yet public. Trump's request covers 74 miles of border wall as part of a 10-year, $18 billion proposal. Democrats had long vowed they wouldn't fund the wall but are accepting the opening request as part of a broader plan that protects from deportation about 800,000 Dreamers. The deal also would include restrictions on a program allowing immigrants to bring some relatives to the U.S. In an afternoon of drama and confusing developments, 4 other GOP lawmakers including hardliners on immigration were also in Trump's office for Thursday's meeting, a development sources said Durbin and Graham did not expect. It was unclear why the 4 Republicans were there, and the session did not produce the results the 2 senators were hoping for. There has not been a deal reached yet, said White House spokeswoman Sarah Huckabee Sanders. But she added, "We feel like we're close." Underscoring the hurdles facing the effort, other Republicans undercut the significance of the deal the half-dozen senators hoped to sell to Trump. "How do 6 people bind the other 94 in the Senate? I don't get that," said No. 2 Senate Republican John Cornyn of Texas. The 6 senators have been meeting for months to find a way to revive protections for the Dreamers. Trump ended the Obama-era Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program last year but has given Congress until March 5 to find a way to keep it alive. Federal agencies will run out of money and have to shut down if lawmakers don't pass legislation extending their financing by January. Some Democrats are threatening to withhold their votes, which Republicans will need to push that legislation through Congress unless an immigration accord is reached.